Good evening. My name is Jessica Brinkley, and I am a Senior Program Policy Specialist with the National Education Association's ESP Quality Department. I would like to welcome you to tonight's webinar, Wellness Skills for Self-Care and Health for Education Support Professionals. I, along with my colleague Jenny Young, also a Senior Program Policy Specialist with the NEA ESP Quality Department, will be serving as your facilitators for this evening's webinar. This presentation is brought to you by NEA's ESP Quality Department, which is housed in NEA's Center for Great Public Schools, in collaboration with Capacitar International, a nonprofit organization that teaches simple wellness practices to empower people to heal themselves, their families, and communities. The ESP Quality Department, housed in NEA Center for Great Public Schools, represents and advocates for the nearly 500,000 NEA education support professional members, also referred to as ESP. ESPs serve as fellow educators in the school community and play an important role in supporting the whole student. Our strategic focus is to elevate ESP careers by developing, implementing, and promoting best practices, policies, and professional supports that equip ESP with the knowledge and skills to become empowered leaders, accomplished professionals, and members of a high-quality workforce prepared to meet the needs of the whole student. Before we begin our webinar, I turn things over to my colleagues, I would like to take a moment to begin tonight's session by acknowledging that we across the country meet on the traditional lands served by Native peoples. We honor America's first people and all elders, past, present, and emerging, and we are called on to learn and share what we learn about the tribal history, culture, and contributions that have been suppressed in telling the story of America. At this time, I would like to pass things over to my colleague, Jenny Young.
Thank you, Jessica. As Jessica mentioned, this presentation is brought to you by NEA's ESP Quality Department in collaboration with Capacitar International. We know that now more than ever, taking the time to practice self-care is critical, and we thank you for doing just that by joining us tonight. We're excited for you to learn from two of Capacitar's wellness and mindfulness experts tonight. They will be sharing with you some simple healing skills and practices for self-care and for promoting health and well-being. Joining us tonight, we have Joan Condon. Joan is a Capacitar Special Projects Coordinator who offers trainings and team development in the US, the Americas, and Asia. Also with us tonight is Sheila Grady. Sheila is a retired school principal and has offered Capacitar training to educators and other professionals for many, many years. I would now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Hello, everybody. I just want to explain two things about our presentation today. We want to lead you in some physical practices that will help you, your body, mind, and spirit to calm and release anxiety. And then we're going to show you how to do these practices at home or in the moment to help you gather the energy of your calm body when needed. So we're going to start with a brief explanation of Capacitar's work with trauma so that you can understand how we came to do this work. Joan?
Thank you, Sheila. Capacitar was founded actually in Nicaragua in 1988 during the Civil War down there when our founder, Pat Kane, was there working on a project but doing Tai Chi and acupressure for her own stress. And folks there said to her at the time, your artwork is great, as she was doing an art project, but when are you going to teach us those things so we can deal with the stress and trauma of living in this time of violence? And in that moment, Capacitar was born. And in the following 33 years, we have worked with hundreds of thousands of people around the world in areas of conflict with survivors of domestic violence and all kinds of trauma. So what we do is we give people simple tools they can use for themselves. Most people in this world can't get individual counseling or help. And so they do have their own body and they can do things to help themselves. And that's what we teach, as Sheila said. So for today, what we're going to learn is Tai Chi, breath work and switching, finger holds for handling our emotions or managing our emotions, and how to protect our own energy field. Then we're going to get a tour of the Capacitar website to show you where you can get the resources that you need. And we're going to end with the leadership dance. So together now, we're going to start with Tai Chi. And if everybody will please rise. Okay, so you're going to stand with your feet roughly shoulder width apart. And you're going to start off by just beginning to swing your arms. Letting go of whatever worries you're carrying of this day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. For some of you, I see it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning where you are. But letting go, letting your shoulders relax, letting your arms swing, touching your back, touching acupressure points and the organs, massaging the organs of your lower back. And then you slowly, arms come to rest at your side. And then taking your hands and placing them below your navel, which is our center of our being, our safe and sacred space. And for a moment, closing your eyes if it's comfortable and breathing deeply, feeling your connection to the Mother Earth through your feet and to the heavens through your head. Just for a moment, breathing, feeling your body. And now we're going to drop our hands. And the first movement we're going to do is called the rocking movement. Our feet stay roughly shoulder length apart for this one. We bend our knees slightly, bring our hands down, bring them up, turn, and bring them down as you rock up onto your toes. So as you come up, coming up onto your toes, and then as you come down, rocking back onto your heels. And this is called the rocking movement. And with this, we balance the energy of our body, mind, and spirit. The Chinese say if you do this every day, you'll live to be 100. It's too late for me, I didn't do it soon enough, but who knows? So gently moving up on your toes, rocking back on your heels. And rocking for human beings is a very soothing thing, which is one reason we rock our babies. One more time. And this time our hands come and rest in the air just below our navel. Now the next moves we do first to the left and then to the right. In Capacitar, when we move to the left, we think about ourselves. When we move to the right, we think about all the other people and the larger world. So we're going to step with our left foot at a roughly 45-degree angle, and we're going to circle to the left, rocking forward on the left foot, and then back on the right foot. This is called the circle of light. And with this movement, we receive energy and light and peace into our own body, mind, and spirit. Just filling ourselves, calming ourselves from whatever worries or anxieties we might have, given all that's happening in so many places today. And one more time. And then we step back and our hands come back again to our center. And now we step at a 45-degree angle to the right. We move to the right and we rock forward again on the right foot this time, rocking back on the left. And with this, we send out energy and peace and light to all of you who are part of this virtual circle. In Capacitar, we like to work in a circle, so all are equal. We send it out to all our family, our friends, our co-workers, the students, and to the larger world. One more time. And again, we step back and our hands come back and rest just below our navel. The next movement we're going to do is called the shower of light. Again, we step to the left. This time we go down, bringing up light and energy all the way up over our heads and shower it on down through our bodies. So up and down, showering ourselves with light and energy and peace, just as we cleanse ourselves with water when we shower. We're preparing ourselves for the work we're going to do together this day or evening or early morning, again, depending on where everyone is. And one more time. And we step back to center again. And again, same movement with the hands, but this time stepping to the right and always rocking back and forth as we do the hand movements. And with this, we shower with light, with energy, with peace. Each person, as part of this webinar, all of our families and friends and students again, and especially for anyone who's struggling for any reason today. And one more time. And again, coming back to center. Now we're going to put our hands up in front of our chest, our heart area. We're going to step to the left and we're going to push out, turn our hands and bring in. This is called letting go and opening to receive. So with this movement to the left, thinking of ourselves, we let go of whatever there is in our lives that isn't serving us. So whatever you need to let go of today, just push it out and let it go and bring some peace into your heart. So maybe it's anger and bringing in peace, frustration and bringing in peace, grief, bring in some peace. And one more time. And always again, stepping back and our hands coming again to rest. And now we step to the right. And again, with our hands, we push out and we bring in. So in the name of the human family that we're all part of, let's let go of the anger, of the violence, of all the things in our various societies that really don't serve us as a human family. And let's bring in peace to the hearts of all people. Letting go and opening to receive. Letting go of violence, bringing in peace. One more time. And coming back again to center. We're now going to move a movement that's called the wise being. So we step to the left and our hands come up and cross in front of our eyes. Crossing in front of our eyes as we rock back and forth. And with this, we tap into the wisdom that each of us has within our body, mind, and spirit. We like to say in Capacitar, we teach body literacy, so that wisdom we have within our bodies. And we use that wisdom in making decisions in our own life. One more time. And this time as we come back, we're going to take a moment to embrace ourselves, recognizing that each of us is a unique, special human being, important not just to ourselves, but to this world that we live in. So for a moment, just breathing, appreciate yourself, love yourself. And then dropping our hands down, this time we step to the right, and the same hand movement crossing in front of your eyes, and recognizing the wisdom of the universe that surrounds us, and vowing to use our own wisdom as we work within our schools, with our students, to help them make good decisions for themselves and in their lives. And one more time. And coming back again to rest at center. And now we're going to fly together. We begin here, stepping to the left with our left hand up, and this is like a swimming motion. So stepping to the left, and your left arm goes out, and then your right hand follows. So just for a moment, pretend you're a bird. Visualize yourself, free from this earth, free from all your concerns and worries, flying through the air, the breeze in your face, the sun warm on your back, looking down at the beautiful earth, Mother Earth beneath. And just enjoy for a moment that freedom. And one more time. And coming back to rest at center. And now stepping to the right, beginning with the right hand, the same swimming motion. And with this, we fly together. When we fly together, when we work together, when we support each other, when we help each other out, we're so much more effective. Things go so much better, and we feel so much better about ourselves and each other. So learning to work as a team, to fly like the geese, where they fly in the V, the ones behind being helped by the breaking of the wind, the air ahead of them. And when one gets tired, another moves into leadership. And one more time. And coming back to center. And now beginning with our left hand, we're going to cross our body, come back in front of our eyes, and then our right hand moving in the opposite direction. And this is called passing clouds. And this reminds us that clouds come and go, hiding the sun sometimes, and sometimes not. And so it is with our problems in life. They come and they go. And we remember when the clouds hide the sun, behind it the sun still shines. And so when our problems seem so dark, we have to remember that the sun will again shine for us. One more time. And now we're just going to bring our hands down. We're going to bring up earth energy, bring it up over our heads, and then turning our hands slightly, we come down, filling ourselves with energy, balancing the energy of the body, mind, and spirit. And we go up again, and this time as we come down, we turn our hands outward because we fill ourselves to also share with others. Let's do that one more time. So we fill ourselves and prepare ourselves to share with others, our students, our colleagues. This time we bring our hands back in front of our heart together, and we offer each other the Indian greeting that says, "That which is sacred in me recognizes that in you," or "I see you in the deepest sense." We say, "Namaste." Okay, thank you. We can return to our seats. And as you do that, just do a quick, quiet check-in with your body and see what you feel. Do you feel some tingling in your fingers? Do you feel warm with the movement of energy that you've been doing? All right, Sheila? We'll go to Sheila now for breath work and switching.
Hello again. I feel tingly. My fingers are tingly, and I hope you're all feeling peaceful. I got interested in working with this type of movement when I would visit my intensive behavior classrooms in our special ed department, and I would hear the teachers saying, "Take a deep breath, go to the calm corner. Okay, let's breathe. Now let's sit in the calm corner." And I realized that it was helping them. But then that was all we had at that point in our bag of tricks, was breathing. I have a lot more tricks now after I studied this for a while. But the breath is the thing that is really fundamental to everything and fundamental to all of us. So when you breathe, if you went through Lamaze training, you probably remember this, but when you do that breathing, you want to bring your diaphragm, I gotta stand up to show you. Okay, sideways. Put my hands on my tummy. I want belly breath. So when you breathe in, your belly should go out, so there's room for your diaphragm to fill. And when you breathe out, your diaphragm should come in. So I want you to practice that with me a little bit. Take a deep breath and inhale, and when you inhale, that tummy's going out. Exhale, it's coming in. Inhale, out. Exhale, in. A lot of us do it the opposite way, but the most relaxing breath is when you breathe with your belly going out for the inhale, your belly coming in for the exhale. So I want you to try it with me, and I'm going to kind of count it for us. So it's kind of weird because I can't see all of you, but I'm trusting that you're doing it. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now, the mindfulness folks talk a lot about breathing. There's one kind of breathing that really helps calm you down, and it's when you double the amount of time you're taking an exhale. So I'm going to count 4 in and 8 out. So let's try that, please. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The breathing is crucial, and the exhaling is when your parasympathetic system gets activated, and that's what calms you down. We want to go from your cognitive brain to your emotional brain, and the inhale, if you just inhale and you keep them equal, you don't get as much relief from the anxiety. So if you're really in a state, or one of the children you're working with is in a state, just say, breathe with me, and do inhale, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale till you get to 8. And just try to get them to do it 3 times. It makes a big, big difference. So now that we know how to breathe the right way, I want to show you something that is really kind of amazing. It's called switching. You can do it standing up or sitting down. I've done it with students on the playground standing up, but I'm afraid I'll fall over if I do it standing up right now. What we want to do is get the energy that's kind of circulating in your body. It circulates all the time. Energy comes in through the left, moves around your body and goes out the right. And it is susceptible to all the same things that make you anxious and unnerved. Technology, telephone waves, anger, traffic, everything that's happening in our modern world can cause your energy to kind of spill around and not be going in that lovely, gentle, flowing way that we were starting to pick up when we were doing our Tai Chi. So a way to get it going the right direction is something we call switching. And what you do is you put your hands in front of you at the level of your chest and turn your hands down. So you've got thumbs pointing to the ground. Put your hands together, right hand over left. Now, hands together, turn your hands inside out and put your fist gently against your chest, against your heart center. You also want to put your tongue in the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth. So with children, of course, you're going to want to say, close the gate and don't let the dog out, and hold that tongue right behind the top teeth. And then there's one more thing. Your left foot over your right foot, cross at the ankles. I know it looks really goofy. So with children, of course, they'll be happy to do this. We'll call this the spaghetti move. And then just let yourself sink down into that safe space in your body. And remember that breathing that we were doing. You can calm a whole room by asking them to do this with you. It's really pretty amazing. I'm always amazed when it works, actually. But our director, Pat Kane, did it with a group of street children in Afghanistan. They had no shoes, no socks, not very great food. And she gathered them all up, and instantly there was instant quiet. What teacher, what educator, what office, what school person doesn't love instant quiet? If you're trying to calm yourself down or kids and it doesn't work, remember to try switching, because this move, it really works. Let's undo and try it one more time. And we're going to give you handouts and places where you can see all of these things. So, I'm going to do it standing up because I have a friend who does it. So she does it all the time, parts of it. So hands out, right hand over left hand, your thumbs down, right hand over left hand. Hold the hands together and hold your hands inside out against your chest, your tongue touching the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth, and then left foot over right foot. And then just breathe, letting yourself be calm and sink into the wisdom of your body. You don't have to do it for very long, and with children, 20 seconds. Adults might take a little longer to calm. Okay, let's unwind. I didn't fall over, that's good. I had a group of noisy fifth graders who wouldn't follow their rules on the playground. And so when I called them aside for special training, before we re-practiced the rules, they stood on the playground. I said, you're going to do this game with me. And then they did their switching, and they calmed down enough to learn and practice the rules the right way. So I wouldn't say to kids, now we're going to get your energy wherever. I just say, do this game, do what I'm telling you to do, and it works. And while I have you, my favorite Tai Chi move with all students is the one where it's push-pull, where we went push, pull in, so we go out, and then you're bringing in. And with them, I would say, after recess, they're lined up, ready to go back into the classroom. We say, push the noisies out, bring the learning in. Push the noisies out, bring the learning in. Then we'd switch feet. Really simple, and then bingo, I've got this whole group of quiet little munchkins following back to the classroom. It's pretty amazing. I think I've said that before. Okay, so Joan's going to show us something that is our absolute best go-to most favorite practice. We all can do it. You don't have to stand up. I'm going to turn it over to her because you're going to love this one. Joan.
Okay, this is the practice called the finger holds for managing emotions. All right, we all have emotions. They're neither good nor bad. They're emotions. We have them. Emotions tend to come in energy waves. So we start off, let's say we're getting angry. We start off and it goes up, and then suddenly it goes up and up and up. And what that means is our original reptilian part of the brain is in charge, and this part, the thinking part, is really not working very well. So in order to make good decisions when we're in the grip of an emotion, we need to be able to get this part of the brain working. To flatten the curve, we're flattening all kinds of curves these days. So to flatten the curve. And that's where this particular practice that we have is very, very helpful. And again, it's called to manage emotions. You will get copies of it in the resources. So we give and receive energy through our fingers and through our toes. So each finger represents an emotion, okay? So to make them easy to remember, we've kind of attached a saying or an illustration to each. So if you think about a baby sucking their thumb for comfort, this is your finger or your thumb of grief, tears, sadness, strong emotions. If you think about it, and I don't want to insult any teachers, but sometimes they do this, and politicians are great at doing it to try to bring fear to a person. So your index finger is your finger of fear. The middle finger, and I think all but one country in the world, represents anger, okay? Okay, so this is your finger of anger. Your ring finger, what we call the ring finger, will play with their rings. That helps to remember. They're probably feeling anxious or worried. So this ring finger is your finger of anxiety and worried. And your small finger is for when you feel small. Self-esteem. When nobody loves me, I can't do anything right. So that's your small finger. So just a quick review. Tears, grief, strong emotions for your thumb. Fear, panic for your index finger. Anger, resentment for your middle finger. Anxiety, worry for the ring finger. Lack of self-esteem or victimhood for the small finger. So what do we do now that we know this? Doesn't matter which hand you use, but the practice is with one hand, you hold the finger of the other hand and you breathe out the particular emotion and breathe in comfort or peace. So we're going to do that together as a visualization. So you want to sit comfortably, your feet on the floor if you can, and taking one hand and holding the thumb of the other hand, closing your eyes only if it's comfortable for you. We're going to breathe out any sadness we may have. Let it drain away into Mother Earth and breathe in comfort and peace. Breathe out tears. Breathe in comfort and peace. Breathe out sadness and grief Breathe in, peace. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe in any sadness you feel, let it drain away. Breathe in, peace. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And when you're ready, we can leave this finger of sadness and grief and tears. You can come back whenever you need to, and we'll move and we'll hold the index finger, our finger of fear and panic. And we'll breathe out any fear we feel in this time of COVID. And we'll breathe in courage and peace. We'll breathe out any feelings of panic and breathe in courage and peace. Breathing out, breathe in. Out, breathe in. Breathe out fear, breathe in courage. Breathe out panic, breathe peace. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. And when you're ready, we'll leave this finger of fear. You can come back if you need to and when you need to. And we move to the middle finger, our finger of anger. We breathe out any anger we're carrying. Let it drain away into the earth. And breathe in peace. Breathe out any resentments you may have. Breathe in peace. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out anger. Breathe in peace. Breathe out resentment. Breathe in peace. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And when you're ready, we can leave this finger of anger. Again, you can return anytime you need to, and we'll move to the ring finger, the finger of anxiety and worry. And with this, we breathe out any anxiety we have. We let it drain away into the earth, and we breathe in calmness and peace. Breathing out any worries we're carrying. Let them go. Breathe in peace. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out worries. Breathe in peace. Breathe out anxiety in this time of COVID. Breathe in peace. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And when you're ready, we can leave this finger of anxiety and worry. Again, you can return whenever you need to. And we move to our small finger, our finger of self-esteem. And we breathe out any feeling of being a victim. And we breathe in our own empowerment. We breathe out any feelings that I am not worthy. And we breathe in the knowledge that we are worthy. We're unique. We're special. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out your victimhood. Breathe in your uniqueness. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And when you're ready, we'll leave this finger of self-esteem or lack of self-esteem, and we'll bring our fingertips together and we'll cross our feet at the ankles, and you can rest your hands in your lap. And for a moment, just continue breathing in, breathing out. You've just cleared your whole energy system. And so now that you've closed it off at your fingertips and ankles, it can right inside you, clear and current. So for a moment, just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes, drop your hands into your lap. I'd like to spend a minute or two explaining how and when you could use this. If we can turn the music off.
I have to wake up.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Joan.
You're welcome. Okay, so when and how do we use this? You can use it in the moment. At a time when you're feeling fear, moment, you can hold that finger and you can breathe out and breathe in. You don't have to even say, I'm breathing out fear, I'm breathing in peace. No, just breathe out and breathe in. And what it does is calm that part of the brain, the amygdala, the limbic part of the brain, and allow you to begin to think with the rational part of the brain that though I'm fearful, what is the best thing to do in this moment? Okay? You can do the same when you're feeling angry. If you're dealing with children, sometimes children do things that make us angry. And sometimes we react because this part of the brain is in charge, okay? And we say something that we wish later we didn't say. And we can apologize, but we can't take it back. So if you're feeling that, you're going to take a minute, you're going to hold your finger. Nobody needs to know you're doing it. You're going to breathe out that anger, and you're going to breathe in, and you're going to quiet that emotion down until you can respond in a more calm way. Okay, maybe it's just saying we need to talk about this later. I'm angry, so we need to talk about it later. Or maybe you've got yourself calm enough where you can respond calmly. So you can use it in the moment. You can use it as a practice, okay? As we did, and you can use music if you want. You can go through and clear your whole energy system by holding each finger. It's a wonderful practice to do at night when you're lying in bed and everything that's happened during the day is going around in your mind, and you can't quiet that monkey mind. Just holding your fingers, breathing in and breathing out, letting go, and you'll find you calm yourself down and you usually fall asleep often before you do them all. One of our trainers was worried about that, so the next night she'd start from this end and work backwards. Okay? For kids, okay? This is great to help kids to begin to identify what they feel. You can actually have them trace their hand onto a piece of paper and then choose whatever colors they might want to represent the emotion that they feel, okay? And then they have something on paper that they can use to remind themselves. But you can teach it to them, and then they can teach it to others. I do want to review one thing, and that's a protection thing. When we did at the end, when we crossed our ankles and we brought our fingertips together, okay, this closes our energy system. So nobody can suck the energy out of us, and we don't absorb energy from other people or emotional energy from other people. So if you're in a very difficult meeting for some reason, you can sit with your hands in your lap, with your fingertips together, your ankles crossed, nobody needs to know. And you can say if somebody's being angry or frustrated, and you can just listen. And you can say, yes, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but you're not absorbing whatever they're putting out, and they're not sucking your energy out of you. So it's a very good protection mode that you can use. Okay? One other thing, if someone is dying or very ill, you can just hold, if touch is appropriate, you can just hold the fingers for them. You don't have to say anything. And this helps them to release things that they may be carrying in their lives, and so that they can be more calm and more peaceful as they make whatever transition they need to make. Okay, so we're going to go to Sheila, who wants to tell you a couple stories about using the finger holds with kids. I could tell you a couple too, but
I bet you could.
before I go, I'm just going to tell you one about a teacher, okay? I did the Capacitor evaluation in 2009, 2010, going around the world and interviewing people. And I'd done the training in East Timor, so I knew this teacher. And he said to me, I really like the finger holds. Okay, I teach them to my students so they can help control their emotions, and I use them for myself. And you know what? When I get angry now, I hold my finger and I don't hit my students. With that, I turn it over to Sheila.
Oof. Ah, well, we don't hit our students either, but this is my go-to so all the time. You know, the kiddo that gets sent to talk to the principal walks up and either they're pretty, you know, big deal, but often they're in tears and they're upset and they're crying and whatever. Either way, I would walk out, sit down next to them while they're still in the outer office, and I would say, you know, I'm busy right now, but while you're waiting for me, I want you to hold each one of your fingers for a count to 20. First one, then the other. That's all I want you to do. And when my office clears up, then we'll talk. It always worked. The crying was over. The attitude had changed, and we could carry on a conversation. I've used it with a couple of kiddos who had school phobia, and they just couldn't even get out of the car in the morning. And I had just come back from a Capacitor training, and I popped my head into the car and I said, you know what, you're just sitting there. It's okay, you can cry, but just hold on to your thumb. And in a few more minutes, when the bell rings, you're going to come into the office and we'll get you settled. Her mother had dragged her into the office for weeks. A few minutes later, she comes walking in, no problem. And the mother's looking over her head at me like, what was that? What was that? What did you do? So the finger holds, you can use them all the time. And the holding your you know, holding your energy field together is really great. My teachers loved it for some special, generally IEP meetings and things like that, when sometimes staff members got a little black and blue from some of the folks in those meetings. I just want to say that our paraprofessionals that are working with are really severe students, our autistic students, and trying to help figure out how to get to them. You are the heroes, and if you want to take a look at some of these things, you will find they'll make your job, your energy feel better, and it will help the kids. It really does help them. So I will go on to the next one, which is, the website business. Okay, so that's me. So what I want you to know is that we don't expect people would remember all of these things, particularly the Tai Chi moves, just hearing us and watching us do it one time. So we really hope you'll go to our website. And this is a picture of the homepage of the website, which we created this summer. We revised it. I'm kind of proud of it, but I realized that it's hard for folks to find some things. So on the homepage, these two arrows are the places where you folks are going to want to go to take a look at some practices, some of these kinds of exercises that we're doing. We have them written in documents, and then we have little videos for you. So if you'll switch the slide for me, please. When you click on that top, the top one, it'll go to this page, and it will say wellness bulletins for self-care. We put these together for the COVID-19 response, and the top part is all written practices. They're wellness bulletins, and you can see that they're in many different languages. Those are all live links, I'm proud to say. They'll open up right in your computer. You don't have to download them to have them open up, but there you go. If you should need Indonesian, or even, wait, one lady did them in, there's some really strange languages. Somebody did one in ancient Scottish, but that was a different translation. Anyway, everything is in Spanish that we have, and that's probably one of the ones that we need the most often. So the lower part are a series of little videos. You'll see Joan, who you just met, doing the finger holds, and you'll see Pat Kane, our founder, doing the immune system boost. So there's lists of short, maybe 5 to 7 minute videos. They're on YouTube or Vimeo. All you have to do is click, and it will take you to these lovely ladies leading you through that practice. And these are great, because if you're going to share this with somebody else, you're not going to remember what it is, and you could just put it up on the computer and everybody can do them with you. In fact, until I had to start presenting myself, most of my work was following these videos. The next page, which was the other arrow from the home page, is a series of really professionally done videos. The first one you see there is emotional freedom tapping, and then there's immune boost. There's further down is finger holds. These were done in Scotland. A group in Scotland put them together. We had no idea that they were going to be this professional, and they are just beautiful. So if you were really going to present to a whole lot of people, you might want to shift to this set of videos. And we encourage you to use them and enjoy them and share them, because it really, really helps. It is the most effective and economical thing you can do to help us, all of us, heal and feel better. There is one, Scottish Gaelic or one of those. I'll have to find that, Christy, and send it to you. Okay, so that's the really short explanation of the website. There's lots and lots of other things there, but you'll have plenty of time, since some of you are sheltering at home, to go through, take a look at it, and just know how much we appreciate all the work that you're doing with all those kids. So the last thing we wanted to tell you, and then we're going to do something called the leadership dance, which isn't really a dance. Okay, so don't worry. So we put in some handouts that our presenter facilitators will give you the link to. It will have this PowerPoint, and all of those links are live. I've already used them in another presentation. Thank you, Jessica. And then also you have a handout which is called our emergency kit. Now the emergency kit, it's about 7 or 8 pages. It is the most important effective practices that Capacitar has found in working around the world for 30 plus years. There's a lot of ways to do yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong, but these are simple. We do this with people that don't speak English, that could never take medicine for a problem, could not do therapy. These practices make them feel better, and they have experienced incredible traumas. So these emergency kit practices are really important. So we're giving you a copy of that. If you need it in another language, on the website there's a spot that says download our emergency kits in all these various languages. I think we have them in 35 languages. Then we also have a single page on switching. That was the one that we showed you how to do. I think the finger holds is inside of the emergency kit. That's the handout. It's pretty simple, but you know, you can't leave a staff development thing without a handout. So there we go. And that's it. We're going to have some Q&A at the end, but I want to get us back on our feet, or at least sitting a little bit, because we're going to do what we call the leadership dance. It is not a dance. It's just done to music. And the motions that we do in it are things that are like Tai Chi movements that will awaken your energy and make you feel better. And we are all leaders. We are all working with students and parents and families. And I think we are all holding, well, you guys now, not me, holding that world together, because we're in a tough spot. So on the leadership, we call it the leadership dance. This is what we're going to do. You can do it while you're sitting. We're going to show patience by brushing down our arms. We're going to show slowing down and living in the moment. Then we're going to open and listen to ourselves and others. Then we want to fill our hearts with love. And then we want to give love. We'll roll our hands outward. And then we're going to celebrate. If you stand up like me, you can turn around and celebrate, but you can also just celebrate. And we'll do it like 2 things. It's really simple. Well, I forget. You're educators. You'll love doing this stuff. Okay, so I think no, I didn't share the music. Let me share it here. There we go. So we're gonna go patience like this. Then we're gonna do slow down and live in the moment. Open to listen to ourselves and others. We're going to give love and receive love and celebrate. I think I did them backwards, but you get the message. Let's try it again. Patience. You need a lot of this. Slow down. Open to listen to ourselves, to others, to students. Fill our hearts with love. Give love to others and celebrate. Okay, I won't put myself through it anymore because I'm messing it up, you guys. It is so hard to do this without having people. Anyway, I love being able to work with educators. So now I'm going to turn it back over to those people who are the professionals at doing webinars instead of this old retired principal. Let's see, Jenny, it's back to you, right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Joan and Sheila, for this amazing interactive and timely webinar. We know that all of our education support professionals and the others joining us are excited to take this back, whether it's virtually or in some form of in-person capacity, to use with their students and certainly with their colleagues. And we hope everyone also finds opportunities to share this information with and these exercises with their families and others in their community. We have time for Q&A. As Jessica posted in the chat, we will stay on a little bit after 8 o'clock. She did mention that you'll still be able to receive your certificates, even if you have to hop off now. But if anyone has any questions, we'd like for you to please post them in the Q&A box. And as a reminder, the recording will be emailed 7 to 10 business days after the webinar. And we're also going to post a link to where you can access all of the resources from Capacitar, as well as the slides and the generic certificate. We'll post that shortly once we enable the polling questions. So take a minute. I know everybody's really relaxed, and let us know in the Q&A box if you have any questions.
You did such a good job. You have no questions. Well, if you're from California, you're headed to the Laker game on TV.
So I know you mentioned several exercises that you've used or can be used with students, but are there any on your website that you weren't able to share with the attendees tonight that you'd recommend using with students?
All of the ones that we had today or with students. Further ones, you know what, everything can be with students and with yourselves. I would suggest you use it for yourself first. There's one on our website that is called Emotional Freedom Tapping. It's very, very powerful. I would use it with an adult. I have used it with teachers who were in the midst of total panic attacks, and it just brought them to calm right away. So yeah, just kind of noodle around the website and you'll see, and you can send us questions even in the website. There's a spot for you to ask questions.
There's another one that that I would suggest that you teach students to use, and that's called the holds, and it's a simple holding of parts of the body, and especially the if you have an upset student, that if you're just laying hands on the shoulders, if touch is appropriate, can really calm them down. But the holds are a very calming thing, so you can look for that. That's in your emergency kit, which is one of the resources that you're getting.
Great, thank you. So we do have a question. I have great luck with my alternative high school students with yoga and deep breathing. Have you worked with high school students, and do you have any tips on exercises that are useful for them?
These things are similar to yoga and very similar, you know, the deep breathing we talked about. Definitely do the finger holds with them. They love that. We've worked with high schoolers. If you've got them to the point that they're going to do it with you, then they're open to really anything. I noticed, I went back to substitute principal a year and a half ago, and I'd been out for 2 years, and I was shocked and pleasantly surprised at how open everyone was to mindfulness and meditation and deep breathing. So when you bring this stuff up, they don't look at you like you've lost your mind. Definitely use the finger holds with the teens. The tapping is really good with the teens. Go into our website and look for EFT tapping, and she'll lead you through it. It's where you take something that is really, really bothering you, and you slowly decrease the amount of anxiety and angst you feel about it. It's one I had to use a lot of times when I was at work.
There's another very simple acupressure point that is useful for teams, but for everybody, and that's holding your hand up, and on the little finger side, just bringing your finger down, and as you get to your wrist, there's a indentation there, and holding that. Nobody has to know they're doing it, so it's something that they can do if they're feeling anxious about something. It's an acupressure point. We didn't go into that today. We didn't have time, but it's something they can do feeling anxious that nobody has to know that they're doing, and you can use it yourself.
There is a section in the resources on the website about there's holds, which ways that you can hold your head and your body that help you feel better, but there's also a whole section on acupressure points. I think it's in the bulletins, the wellness bulletins. And you know, everybody knows the one about your headache. You have a headache, you use this one. There's tons of them that really will help you for physical things, you know, like if you've got an earache or a sinus infection, or you've got, you know, lots of the headache stuff, or your feet hurt. So look for the acupressure points to relieve physical and emotional issues.
Yeah, there's a whole series of bulletins under the COVID that shows acupressure for various emotional things, anxiety, fear, grief, all that.
Thank you. Another question, is Capacitar your organization or the type of practice, or both?
Joan.
Capacitar is the name of the organization. It's a group of practices. It's a way of living, but the actual name of the organization is Capacitar International. And of course, it comes from the Spanish word meaning to empower, to bring each other to life. So it is the name of the organization, but it's also a manner of living, and it's a group of specific practices, as well as an international network of solidarity and empowerment, because we have Capacitar people all over the world as part of an international network.
Thank you.
What we're doing today is what our international trainers like to do all over the world. We don't do therapy. We don't say you have to have us teaching you how to do this. We are like a trainer of trainers model. we have just shown you, we've empowered you guys to be able to do this and to share with other people. It's ancient practices that come from body wisdom, and it's out there for all of us. We've got fingers and toes, we've got bodies that love to be healed, and that's just what our mission is to bring that to everybody's hand.
As Sheila says, it's not therapy. Our model is popular education. So some of you may be familiar with the work of Paulo Freire. And so I mentioned before, as part of the practices, I'm going to have to turn that off, that we teach body literacy.
Thank you. And is there a cost to use the website? I think the answer to that is no. No. Okay. So all the resources and materials are free. Thank you very much.
There are some materials for purchase, but that's not what you guys are going to be looking for right now. Everything you need is right there. The purchasable, the things that are available for purchase. We have a manual that's specifically for people that are working with refugees. We have a manual that's specifically for people that are working with cancer victims. So there's some of that kind of thing available, but what you guys need is, you need what's in that, those other resources.
Thank you. We have another question. While doing the virtual teaching with students, some of which have behavioral issues, would you suggest that this approach should be introduced and reviewed with the supervising parent before starting with the student?
Well, that's a really good question. I think it's going to depend on how you want to present it. If you want to just present it that this is part of our, we're going to get up out of our chairs and do something and make ourselves feel better. You don't have to go into, and I wouldn't go into, this is changing your energy and this is helping you. Just say we're going to get our energy ready to learn. So everybody up, and even the people that are misbehaving. If it doesn't go over well, then you might want to contact the parent. You might ask the parents to do it with you, because what we find is the kids teach the parents, and they really want to do it too.
Thank you.
I just wouldn't make it a big deal, and you don't need the music. You can just, you can just do it.
Great, thank you so much. And the last question for the night is, some of the techniques remind me of Reiki. Are either of you trained in Reiki?
No, I do work with a lot of Reiki practitioners when I work in the Philippines who are trained in Reiki, and we have a lot of Reiki people go through the course, but no, I'm not trained in Reiki, and I don't think Sheila is either.
No, I am not, but we do get lots who are Reiki or healing touch types. We have a lot of nurses, medical professionals, lots of therapists do this. So there are other, just like we said, there's other ways you can access energy, body wisdom. This is just the one that works best for popular education. Our training's a little fast.
Well, and if you're trained in Reiki, you have to be trained. You have to go through the various levels. And the whole idea for us is to give people things they can use for themselves, not something that you have to, be certified in or trained in. You learn it, you share it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. And I know I said we were wrapping it up. I just have one more that I'm hoping you can help us with. And a participant named Mary asked if they could have the name of the music that you used during this. So if possible, we could include the names of the songs and provide it in a handout and add it to the folder, if that's okay. Is that possible?
Sure, that's fine. I got them from they're the ones that Pat Kane always used, and I just downloaded them from iTunes. If you want to write it down, Quiet Heart is the one that she did the finger holds with, and
Sun Spirit.
Sun Spirit is the one that the Tai Chi was through. And
great.
I've got an audio. I'll send it to you. I've got an audio of Joan leading the finger holds, not the video, so you don't see her face, but you just hear it. And a lot of the folks who heard it the first time said, "Oh, I like the way her voice sounds. Can you just send me that?" So I'll send you a link to that. I'm going to put that up on the website.
Great.
We
Thank
also,
you.
we also encourage people to use music that works for them also. And because we work much interculturally, that people have music of their culture that they do Tai Chi, et cetera, too. So just to throw that in there.
Great, thank you so much. So we will certainly be sure we have the names of the songs, and we'll include that as a handout. That concludes this portion, the Q&A portion of the webinar. Thank you for staying on, for everyone who has, and I'm going to turn it back over to Jessica.
So thank you so much once again for joining us this evening. As we close out, we know that the pandemic is having a devastating impact on the students and educators, and especially on our communities of color. And in times like these, we depend on the stability and support of our public schools, public health systems, and public safety nets the public safety nets that they provide. These services form a network of support that help our communities grow and thrive, and now face devastating cuts due to the economic downturn. Whether we are Black or white, Latino or Asian, Indigenous or immigrant, we must stand united to ensure our health, safety, and future success. That's why NEA has launched a national campaign to demand that Congress respect the work educators do, that they keep our students, communities, and colleagues safe, and that they support our families and remove barriers for our collective participation and voice, no exceptions. Congress can do this immediately by passing legislation to stabilize funding for public education in the upcoming school year, as well as addressing inequities impacting our students' opportunities, and provide the necessary resources to protect our students and educators as they re-enter our nation's public schools. This moment calls on us to go all in for all of us. If you would like to be a part of this call to Congress, please visit www.nea.org/COVID-action. You see that website address right there on the bottom of the screen. And you can visit that to see how you can also take action. If you are a participant of this webinar session through a recording, you may request a general session-specific certificate of completion by sending an email request to espqweb@nea.org. All requests must include the session title and the on-screen certificate of completion code. Session certificates will not be provided if your viewer code is not included in the email request. Note, due to limitations in our ability to track attendance after live sessions, requests for personalized certificates will only be provided to participants of live webinars whose attendance can be verified. The certificate received for viewing recorded sessions will be session specific, but will not include personalized names. On behalf of the Center of Great Public Schools, NEA ESP Quality Department, I would like to once again thank Joan Condon and Sheila Grady and Capacitar International for tonight's webinar presentation. I would also like to thank you for your active participation. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night from the NEA ESP Quality Department.